Welcome to the deep dive. You're probably here because, like us, you want to get straight to the core of what makes change happen. Fast.
No fluff, just the mechanics.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Today, we were cracking open a big one. The whole philosophy around tiny habits. You know, the stuff that's really taken over self-improvement lately.
Yeah, specifically atomic habits.
That's the one. We're diving into the key takeaways from James Clear's work, how these seemingly minor daily actions, these atomic habits he calls them, are actually the real engine for huge, lasting change.
That's a powerful idea.
It really is. So our mission today, take this, well, sometimes overwhelming idea of continuous improvement and boil it down.
Make it actionable.
Right. How habits form, how you break the bad ones, and crucially, why focusing on your systems is apparently way more effective than just setting goals.
That's a big shift for a lot of people.
Okay, let's unpack this. This idea that tiny daily actions are the real powerhouse for growth.
Well, maybe the most powerful concept in the whole book is this. Every single action you take is like casting a vote.
A vote? For what?
For the type of person you want to become. Or maybe the type of person you feel stuck being right now. So every time you say, choose to read a page instead of scrolling social media, that's a vote for I'm a reader. Or vice versa. It's constant.
I like that framing. It takes the pressure off some massive, distant goal, right?
Yeah.
It's just about winning today's vote.
Exactly. Just focus on casting the right vote now.
But to win consistently, the book really pivots away from traditional goal setting. Why this emphasis on falling in love with the system, not the goal?
Because goals, well, they're kind of temporary, aren't they? They give you a target, sure,
Right.
a direction, but it's the systems, the daily processes that actually determine your progress over the long haul. Think about that 1% rule he talks about.
Right, the compounding effect.
Yeah. If you improve by just 1% every day over a year, you're not 365% better, you're like 37 times better.
Whoa.
But the flip side is brutal. Get 1% worse each day, and you basically erode down to nothing.
Okay, that's stark.
And the really interesting part is you don't see that exponential difference day to day. It looks flat for months, maybe.
Right, the plateau of latent potential.
Exactly. Your system is working, building that compound interest, even if you haven't hit that big goal yet. The system is the progress.
Okay, here's where, for me, it gets really deep, and maybe the most counterintuitive part. It's not just about the results. It's about changing your identity.
Yes. This is absolutely fundamental.
Well, why is linking a habit to who you are so much stronger than linking it to what you get?
Well, think about it. Outcomes are external, right? Your identity, that's internal. It reinforces itself.
How so?
If your goal is just run a marathon, the outcome, what happens after you cross the finish line, you probably stop running.
Yeah, makes sense. Done.
But if you shift your identity, if you start thinking, I am a runner, well, runners run. It becomes part of who you are, so the behavior continues naturally.
So the habit serves the identity, not just the goal.
Precisely. The habits you build need to consistently reinforce the kind of person you aspire to be. So when you face a choice, the question isn't, what outcome do I want? It's, what would a healthy person, writer, good parent do right now? That identity shift has to come first for behavior change to really stick.
Okay, so to make that identity shift stick, we need to understand the engine running underneath it all, the operating system, which brings us to the habit loop, this structure that apparently governs pretty much everything we do automatically.
Exactly. We often focus on changing the action, the response, without understanding what triggered it in the first place. The book lays out 4 steps, very clear.
Alrighty.
Step 1, the cue. That's the trigger. Could be anything, seeing your phone, smelling coffee, a notification sound.
The prompt.
Right. Step 2 is the craving. This is the motivational force. But here's the interesting bit. You don't actually crave the habit itself.
You craze.
The state it delivers, the feeling, the relief from boredom, the energy boost, the sense of connection, whatever it is.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then comes the actual action.
Step 3, the response. That's the habit itself. Picking up the phone, making the coffee, eating the snack.
Got it. And the final piece.
Step 4, the reward. The satisfaction you get. This closes the loop. It tells your brain, hey, that felt good. Remember this. Do it again next time you see that cue.
And this works for good and bad habits, the same mechanism.
Identical framework. Understanding this loop is the absolute key to reprogramming any habit.
Okay, so understanding is one thing, but how do we actually use this loop? How do we manipulate it?
Right.
This seems to lead us straight into the practical toolkit, the 4 laws for building good habits, moving from theory to like engineering our behavior.
Yes, and this is where the book really shines, I think.
Right.
It gives you a very systematic way to tweak each part of that loop.
So 4 laws,
Yeah.
let's take them one by one. Law 1 starts with the cue. Make it obvious.
Environment design.
Yeah, this seems huge. We tend to blame willpower, but maybe our environment is just perfectly set up for our bad habits.
It often is. Environment is like the invisible hand shaping your choices. If you want to practice guitar, but it's tucked away in a closet upstairs.
Too much friction. You won't do it.
Right. The effort of getting it out is a barrier. So the solution, make it obvious. Leave the guitar on a stand in the living room.
So the cue is unavoidable.
Exactly. Seeing it constantly prompts the action. Way more effective than just relying on memory or motivation. And the inverse works too, right? Want to eat less junk food.
Get it out of the house. Make the cue invisible.
Precisely. Remove the trigger.
Okay. Moving to the craving. Law 2. Make it attractive. So since the craving is about anticipating the reward, how do we make necessary but maybe dull habits more appealing?
This is where temptation bundling comes in. It's a really clever psychological trick.
Temptation bundling. Explain that.
It basically acknowledges we're wired for pleasure. So you link something you want to do with something you need to do.
Okay, like a reward pairing.
Sort of, but simultaneous. The example often used is like, if you enjoy watching Netflix, but you should exercise more.
Ah, I see where this is going.
You only allow yourself to watch your favorite show while you're on the treadmill or exercise bike.
So you start to associate the exercise with the pleasure of the show. You make the chore attractive.
Exactly. You're hijacking your desire for the want to pull you through the need.
That's smart.
Oh.
Okay, law 3. This focuses on the response itself. Make it easy.
Crucial. This tackles procrastination head on.
And the advice here feels really powerful because it's saying, stop trying to rely on these huge bursts of motivation or willpower. Focus on reducing friction.
Yes. Make it almost effortless to start. This links directly to the 2-minute rule.
Explain the 2-minute rule.
Any new habit you want to build should take less than 2 minutes to initiate.
So not the whole habit, just the very beginning.
Just the start. So read more becomes read 1 page. Run 3 miles becomes put on running shoes. Write a book becomes write 1 sentence. You make the entry point so incredibly easy that you can't really say no. Resistance just dissolves.
Because once you've started, the momentum often carries you further anyway.
That's the idea. The initial friction is the biggest hurdle. If a habit feels hard, you probably haven't broken the first step down small enough.
Right.
Make the path of least resistance lead to the good habit.
Right. Shape your environment, shape the starting point. Okay, finally, law 4, which tackles the reward. Make it satisfying. This addresses a core problem, right? The rewards for good habits like getting fit or saving money or learning something, they're often delayed. Weeks, months, years away.
Exactly. Our brains evolved for immediate gratification. We prioritize immediate rewards over long-term ones.
So how do we bridge that gap? How do we give our brain that instant hit it craves now for doing something good?
You have to engineer immediate satisfaction. And this is where things like tracking come in. Habit trackers, progress logs.
Ah, okay. Like checking a box.
Yes. When you finish your workout, maybe your muscles don't look different instantly, but marking that X on your calendar, that's an immediate, visible reward.
A little dopamine hit.
Precisely. It provides immediate proof of progress. It feels good now. That little bit of satisfaction trains your brain, hey, doing that habit felt good, let's repeat it.
So tracking isn't just about data, it's about immediate reinforcement. It makes the progress concrete.
Absolutely vital for keeping the momentum going, especially in the early days before the long-term rewards kick in.
Okay, so those are the 4 laws for building good habits.
Yeah.
Make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. OATS, kind of.
Right.
So what about the flip side? The habits we really want to get rid of, how does this framework help there?
It's elegantly simple, really. You just invert the laws.
Reverse engineer it.
Exactly. To break a bad habit, you need to make it 1. Invisible. Remove the cues. Hide the cookie jar. Delete the app.
2.
Make it unattractive. Reframe the benefits. Focus on the downsides, the costs of the habit. Remind yourself why you want to quit.
3.
Make it difficult. Increase the friction. Add steps. Leave your phone in another room. Make it harder to do the bad thing than to not do it.
And the last one.
Make it unsatisfying. Introduce an immediate consequence. Maybe an accountability partner you have to report to or a small fine you pay yourself. Make the immediate outcome unpleasant.
So you're basically using the same loop mechanics, just in reverse, to dismantle the unwanted behavior.
That's the core idea.
Okay, so once you've got some momentum, either building good habits or breaking bad ones, the challenge becomes sticking with it, right?
Yeah.
Avoiding burnout or boredom.
Yes. Long-term adherence. This is where a couple of more advanced ideas come in. The first one is called the Goldilocks rule.
The Goldilocks rule, like not too hot, not too cold.
Pretty much, it's about managing difficulty to stay motivated. If a task is too easy, you get bored. If it's way too hard, you get frustrated and give up.
Right.
Peak motivation happens when you're working on tasks that are right on the edge of your current abilities. Challenging, but achievable.
So like in the gym, if you lift the same weight forever, you plateau and get bored. But if you try to lift something impossibly heavy, you just fail and feel defeated.
Exactly. You need that sweet spot, just right difficulty to stay engaged and keep making progress without burning out, continually finding that slight edge.
That makes a lot of sense. Keep it challenging but doable. What's the other key for long-term success?
Well, it loops back slightly, but it's about continuous tracking and accountability, but maybe with a different focus later on.
How so?
Initially, tracking provides that immediate satisfaction we talked about. Later, it becomes more about monitoring and refinement. It keeps you aware.
What gets measured gets managed.
That's the principle. Measurement provides feedback, highlights where things might be slipping, and keeps you honest. And having an accountability partner or just knowing you'll review your progress adds another layer of motivation.
And this all leads towards mastery.
Yes, the final stage, really. The book emphasizes that achieving true excellence isn't just about forming habits and then stopping. It requires ongoing, deliberate practice and refinement.
So you never really arrive.
Well, you arrive at levels of competence. But true masters don't rest on their laurels. They keep tweaking the system. They review their performance, look for that next 1% improvement, reflect on failures.
They stay students of the process.
Exactly. They use their habits and their tracking not just to do the work, but to get better at the work. It's a continuous cycle of practice and refinement.
Okay, that brings us full circle. This whole deep dive really boils down to a core lesson, doesn't it? Success isn't about some dramatic overnight transformation.
Not usually, no.
It's about the quiet consistency of these small, atomic habits. By focusing on designing systems, making the right things obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying, you're essentially engineering your own progress.
Yeah, and I think the bigger picture message here is incredibly empowering. It suggests you really do have significant control over who you become.
Not by sheer willpower alone.
No, but by consciously designing your environment, your routines, your systems. You don't wait for motivation to strike. You build a system that carries you forward, pushing you towards the identity you want.
Right. It shifts the focus from feeling to architecting.
Well put.
So that leaves us with a final thought for you, the listener, something to really chew on based on this strong focus on environment and identity. If your current environment, your space, your triggers, the friction involved in your daily tasks, if it's all perfectly optimized right now for the person you currently are,
Okay.
what's the single biggest, maybe simplest change you need to make to your surroundings today? What visible cue, what reduction in friction, what little tweak could start casting a vote for the person you actually want to become tomorrow?
That's a great question to end on.
Go think about that. Go apply these laws.
Yeah.
We'll see you on the next Deep Dive.